Hello my fellow comic book collectors, this is going to be another unboxing video from my comic shop. I'm super excited about this one because it's a big order. It's a really big order, a few $1,000s. Don't tell the wife. It's just one of those cool unboxings that's some major golden age goodness. And I was happy to get it from my comic shop. So before I'm going to open it, and it's a big box, you can see in the background here. Oh, it's quite huge. It is big. It is heavy and big. Before I do that, I'm going to show you a couple of things that I also got in the mail. And this is kind of almost like a little bit of a foreshadowing or of what's going to be inside the box. So I got this comic in the mail. And this is Fire Hair number 10. And it's just a really great character. I did other unboxings with her. This is kind of my foreshadowing of what's inside the big box. But yeah, it's just a really great character. I really like this Golden Age character that sort of disappeared. It's like, popular during the Golden Age and then not much action afterwards. So kind of cool character. So I mentioned her story in one of my previous videos, so I recommend you check that one out. Now, another thing that came in the mail was this one. It's Judo Master. I forget what this is. That's not actually the title of this comic, but it's the very first appearance of the Judo Master. And it is, one sec here, let's see. Special War Series Judo Master. So it's a very rare comic. And just so you know a bit about my background, I'm actually a black belt in Judo. I'm a 3rd degree black belt in Judo. I don't look like it, but actually I'm very good at Judo. So I always love this character because I do Judo. But I just love it because it's so funny. He's like, he's not just a master of Judo, but he's supposed to know karate, jiu-jitsu, and Judo being the big thing. But it's just so funny to see him doing the punches. So in Judo there's no punches, so it's just really great to see him kicking and punching when that has nothing to do with Judo. It's just so hilarious. It's sort of like Austin Powers, where he says Judo chop or something like that, which is just kind of funny because there's no strikes in Judo. It's all flipping and holds and chokes and stuff like that. So I just think it's really great. I really like this comic. So finally, to get his first appearance, I've been looking for that for a while, since I got into Judo like 20 years ago. So actually, oh my goodness, almost 30 years ago that I've been doing Judo. So yeah, so that's a comic that I've been kind of keen to get. Another thing that came in the mail is a subscription that I have. I seem to get these comics as a subscription. And it's just like there was a group that basically tried to bring back the old style of Warren magazines and Vampirella. But they called it something else in order to get around the trademark. And that's what's inside this yellow envelope. They didn't ship it very well because it's sent very poorly, I have to say. It's probably going to be all banged up, which is kind of sad. I hate that they don't even put in like the basic boarding or something just to protect it a little bit. But they didn't do that. So it's going to be banged up, I have a feeling. Let's see how well it turns out. I'm going to pull it out without trying to do any more damage to it. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's it's mangled. I wish they would just send it with boards. I mean, it is mangled. You can see all the dents and stuff. It's so sad. But this is Vampiress Carmella and number 4. This is the most recent issue of it, I believe. So just a kind of retro Vampirella kind of style comic magazine. But it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I just wish they didn't you know, mangle it so much. But you can see it's sort of like the old style, like comic from the magazines that they did with Warren, where it's black and white. A lot of great artists. I believe that some of the artists include like Corbin and let's see who's in this. So there's like a lot of great artists. None of these I'm familiar with. Jay Salvador, Jeff Austin, Newton Burcham. I don't know, artists that I'm not necessarily familiar with, but if you look at the art, it looks kind of nice. It looks quite nice. So, and here's here's the back, so you can see all the different issues that they have. I just wish that they had bagged and boarded it at least. It was just sent really, really rough. Oh well. So that's the stuff that came in the mail. And now I'm going to show you the stuff that came from my comic shop. Just going to quickly slice it open. Okay. So first bag, second bag, third bag, and 3 slabs. So I'm going to ask, which should we do first? Should we do the slabs or should we do the bags? Probably you'll say slabs, so I'll actually show you the slabs first. So usually I always show the slabs at the end, but I'm kind of curious. I'm curious what's inside the slabs. I'm not even looking at the tab. I'm just going to look at, oh, wow. Okay. So this is a SOTI book. This is a great one. Crime Files. And it's in a 5.5. It's just a nice SOTI book. Like Seduction of the Innocent. For those who are not familiar with it, this is one of those books that corrupted the minds of youth. So it's always kind of cool to see these books. I'm not sure the reasoning for this one. I'll have to look it up again. But this was mentioned in the Seduction of the Innocent. And it's just kind of a cool book from 1952. So Crime Files number 5. So that's pretty cool. That's the first slab. Let's see what the next slab has in it. Oh, wow. This is a great one. So I'm a big fan of Al Feldstein. Actually, you probably seen by now my video on my artist spotlight on Al Feldstein. If not, I'll link it in the description and you can check it out. But this is one of those awesome headlight covers, good girl art from Al Feldstein. And this is Sunny number 13. And it's in a reasonable grade. I mean, you think, oh, it's like a 3.0. That's pretty low. But if you know anything about these older Golden Age comics, they are really rough usually. So a 3.0 is quite a good grade for these older comics. So this one is just a really great one. You know, you get the girl, she's kind of lifting up her skirt, you know, that good girl art. And you got the, you know, the mouse at the bottom. I'm not sure if you can see that. And you got the boyfriend coming in, trying to shoot the mouse. And the mouse is like just questioning the whole situation. So it's just a really great cover. Nice, good girl art. Sunny. I'm trying to get the complete series of Sunny. I think there's only like 5 books in the whole series. It's not like a whole bunch. Even though they say Sunny 13, it's really, what they did is there was a previous series like Cosmo Cat, I think it was. And then it went into Sunny. But the original Cosmo Cat was a cat-like character. And then it went into this kind of Sunny being the character. So, yeah, it's just a really great art. I really like Al Feldstein. So this, believe it or not, I don't believe, so Al Feldstein, the cool thing about the Sunny and Junior is another series that he did, is that he did both the cover and the interior art and the actual story. So he did it all. He kind of lied. He said he had a friend that could write stories, and then he ended up doing it himself. So he could get, he was trying to get some money. So it was pretty cool. Now, this next slab is not from the Seduction of the Innocent, but it's one that probably should have been in the Seduction of the Innocents. It's just it's a classic comic. This is Crime Does Not Pay. I'm going to take it out of the bag so you can really see it. This is just a really great cover. And this is like one of those ultra controversial comics. So what we have in here is like, this is Crime Does Not Pay 46. This is one that is really sought after by collectors of these kind of like Seduction of the Innocent or books that are kind of controversial from the 40s. So this is from 1946. And we got like a girls' school. This is like a girls', kids' school. And then you got this kid who's in front of it, and she's wearing like sort of, she looks like so innocent and charming. And then you got the bad guy offering her ice cream. Like he's like, some kind of pedophile or some, guy. And then the police are kind of like tracking him down, right? So, it's that whole situation. It's like, just really controversial, really kind of a major comic. This is a really sought after comic by the collectors of Seduction of the Innocent and related kind of comics that might have or should have been in the Seduction of the Innocent. So this is just a really great cover. Crime Does Not Pay, number 46. Really, really excited to have this in my collection. So now I got to show you the bags. There's like 3 of these. It's just big stacks of comics. And there's a lot of great stuff in here too. So just because they're not slabbed doesn't mean they're not great. These are some awesome comics too. I'm actually really excited for one of the comics that's inside of here. So, so we'll get to that in a second. I just have to rip open this bag. So yeah, so let me just show you some of the stuff that's in here. Now, as I said, I've been collecting a lot of good girl art and stuff, but I also collect superhero stuff. So one of the things that's interesting about the Seduction of the Innocent and the Comic Code Authority is what happened with this book that I have on top. This is a really awesome book. So what we have is World's Finest 173. Now you're probably wondering, what's so special about this comic? Well, this is the only appearance of Two-Face in the Silver Age. This is a Silver Age book. It's the only appearance of Two-Face in the Silver Age. It wasn't until much later that Two-Face made his reappearance in the Bronze Age with that Neil Adams art. I forgot which issue that is, but have it somewhere behind me probably. But this is the one where he appeared in the Silver Age. And the reason he didn't appear in the Silver Age was you weren't allowed to show people with kind of messed up faces, like, with some kind of mutilation. And the way that they could get around it in the Silver Age was it was a costume. So it looks like Batman's putting on this costume where he's kind of pretending to be Two-Face. So it's kind of an interesting story, how they got around the Comic Code Authority in order to get this book published. And it's the only appearance of Two-Face in the Silver Age. So kind of a cool comic. So not many people know about that comic. It is just a really great comic, way undervalued. It's one that you should pick up if you ever can find it. Okay, and then we're back into some modern good girl art. And this is Shanna, the She-Devil, number 2. I picked up just the whole series, so you'll see a lot of. Oh, and then we have Legends of the Stargazers. I just thought this was a good girl art cover. Just there's nothing special about this. It's just a bit of like it's a bondage cover, kind of modern comic for $2. Why not? It's just a nice cover. Okay, so I just thought that was a great cover. Speaking of good covers, another one that has no real value. It's not like it's a really, high valued comic, but it's just another one of these good girl arts. This is Lois Lane. I've been collecting a bunch of her stuff. This is Lois Lane number 76, and it's just kind of like a bikini issue. So, you know, this kind of sexy good girl art from the Silver Age. It's a nice Silver Age comic. And then we have, this is one that actually was funny. Basically, I've been buying way too much stuff. So what I've been trying to do is kind of limit my shopping by creating a shopping cart on my comic shop and not really checking out until the very last, like maybe a week later or 2 weeks later, just to kind of cool my shopping a little bit. And this comic, I wanted to keep it in my shopping cart, but every day it would disappear. It'd be like, oh man, I gotta, find it again. But they had multiple copies. But this comic is just so hot that it literally would disappear every day. I was getting worried that I wasn't going to get it because I was waiting, as I said, a couple weeks to complete the order. So this comic is really hot right now. This is Nice House on the Lake #1, and this is just a really hot comic. This is, I believe it's Tinian. Yeah, James Tinian, or Tynion. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's James Tinian, I think. And it's just a really great story. So recommend you check it out. Actually, I got the A cover and the B cover somewhere in here. I don't know where the B cover is, but it's going to be in here. Another one that I picked up, and I did a video on this before, not this issue particularly, but in House of Mystery, there's a preview issue for Sweet Tooth. Well, this is another comic that has that preview, where there's a preview for Sweet Tooth. So this is actually kind of like in preview Sweet Tooth's first appearance. So it's called Greek Street #2, and it just happens to have a Sweet Tooth first appearance. So kind of I paid $2 for it. It's really under the radar. Not many people know about that comic. I bought 2 copies because I'm going to probably do, when I get to 1,000 subs, I'm going to do a giveaway, and maybe this will be in there as a giveaway. So that's for the people that subscribe to my channel. I want them to be, incentivized to continue watching my channel, and I hope they enjoy it. I'm actually trying to get a bunch of extras, comics, just so that I can have giveaways every so often. Another one that I liked, that I got, is this one, Murdoch Family, and this is the sort of the variant cover. It looks like a Scotty Young or something like that, maybe. Yeah, Scotty Young cover. And so if you're not familiar with the Modoc family, basically this is the first appearance of the Modoc family. And there's basically a new show that's on HBO, I believe, or Amazon. I think it's actually on Amazon, actually, thinking about it more. It's on Amazon. I've watched a few episodes. It's quite good. It kind of like Robot Chicken meets Modoc. I'm not sure if that's a great description, but it's a really cute series. It's kind of funny, so I like it. And so this is their first appearance. It's not Modoc's first appearance. He made his first appearance in, I believe, Strange Tales. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Strange Tales. So yeah, but I have that somewhere. I have to find it. But I have Modoc's first appearance as well. So I got that. I got a few other copies of it as well. So, and then we have, it's all mixed up though. So this is Shanna, the She-Devil #5 or 6? Number 5, Shanna #5. And this is #1. So kind of great girl, jungle girl, good girl art. So I got the whole series. It's just not in order. And then I got Machine Man #1. This is the first series. I also have the second series, but this is the first series, #1. It's not his first appearance, which was in Space Odyssey, but it is, early first series, I should say. Then we have Shanna, the She-Devil #3, where she's inside the dinosaur. And then we have MODOK Head Games #1. So that when I was saying MODOK family, I meant MODOK Head Games. This is where, as I said, MODOK family first appears. So this is the A cover. I got 2 of those. So one will be a potential giveaway. So these are all kind of cool if you're a MODOK fan. And then I got this weird one. I just thought, when I saw it, I was like, what the heck is this? It just looked interesting. It was like, I bought it for cover price. And it's Red Room. And it's the first issue, self-contained first issue. And it's just like, rivers of gore and stuff. It sounds like a interesting title. So I just thought maybe that'd be interesting. Figured I'd check it out. And then we have #7 of Shenna. Yeah, that's hers. Okay, so that's all of those ones. A lot of those were mostly the modern ones. And let's see. These look like the Golden Age portion of this video. So it's a real mix of stuff that I collect. This one is just a really great cover. Jungle Comics #88. I just like these, like dinosaur or prehistoric kind of covers. And it looks like a dinosaur. It almost looks, maybe it's actually, sorry, it might actually just be a crocodile or something, but it looks almost like some kind of ancient dinosaur, like almost. I don't know, but it's just kind of cool. Then we have Jungle Comics #77. Nice bondage cover. I'm trying to collect like the Jungle Comics, all the bondage covers are all the kind of good girl art covers. So this is another one, just kind of cool good girl art. And then we have this one's in really rough shape, but it's a major issue. This is one that's from the Seduction of the Innocent. This is Spook #24. And it's also L.B. Cole cover. So it's kind of hot book for 2 reasons. This is a Golden Age book. It's hot for the fact that it is done by L.B. Cole. He's a very popular artist. I have other videos where I show his work. This is just a great mummy cover, like, and he always does that kind of those weird, very bright colors, I guess. And this is cool because it is mentioned in the Seduction of the Innocent, and that makes it a very hard to find book. And this is a 1.8, so you can it's a pretty low grade. But yeah, that's the only way I could afford it. On high grade, that's a very pricey book. This is now this is a really cool one too. This is Alex Schomburg, and this is Thrilling Comics #68. And it's just a really great good girl art cover. I kind of like this style, where it kind of reminds me of Betty Page a little bit. Maybe it's that 40s style of like hair and stuff. So I really like this. I believe this is from I'm not sure when it's exactly from, but maybe like late 40s, early 50s. So this is Thrilling Comics #68. Nice Alex Schomburg cover. And I'm not sure if you can really see that, but it's just a really great cover. Really great cover. Now, so I mentioned that before I opened up the big box, that that was sort of like foreshadowing some of the stuff that's in this box. So this is Fire Hair #2. This is so she had a run of comics that went from 2 to 10, and this is #2. So, and then we have Rangers Comics. This is the first cover appearance of Fire Hair, and it's a low grade, but it's a 3.5. But it's just a really great cover where she makes her first cover appearance. So that's her cover appearance. And then we have Crime and Punishment #12. This is another book from the Seduction of the Innocent. So I'm trying to get that completion of the collection. I have about 80 some odd books now in the collection for the Seduction Innocent, and there's 150. So so I'm halfway there. Woohoo, halfway. And I'll probably do a video later where I show all of the books that I have from the Seduction Innocent. So this is kind of a nice one. This is Charles uh, Biro art. It's just a, kind of a cool one. I forgot the reasoning why this was in the Seduction Innocent, but it's just, he was, Wortham, who wrote the Seduction Innocent, was really anti these crime, crime books. He really didn't like them. So yeah, and now we have some, I think this is Matt Baker art. This is Jojo, the Congo King. And this is I believe this is number 26. So this is just some good girl art from Matt Baker. I believe it's Matt Baker. Just a really cool cover. I could be wrong about the Matt Baker, but it looks like his style. So I'm pretty sure. So there's that one. And I also got it some more. This is number 21. Another Jojo, the Congo King, number 21. And I just really like these kind of Jungle Girl kind of comics. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's those ones. And this is another one from the Seduction Innocent. This is A Night for Love. A Night of Love, I should say. And it's just it's a one-shot comic. Or sorry, yeah, it's one shot. And it's a really reasonable grade. It's a 3.5. So it presents really, really well. Just a great cover. Nice painted cover. And then we have another one from Seduction Innocent. This is T-Man number 4. And you get that sort of typical Western bar fight going on. So yeah, just kind of cool. So that's T-Man number 4. I'll look these up later and maybe do a separate video where I explain why they were in the Seduction Innocent. And now we have the really great one this is the one I was actually the most excited about. This is Ranger Comics number 21. This is actually where Firehair, that character that I like, made her first appearance. This is her first appearance in comics, was in this comic. And she's not on the cover, but this was the comic where she made her first appearance. I got her first cover appearance as well. I showed you before. This isn't a low grade. It's a 1, just so you know. It's a fairly low grade. There's a pretty big rip that goes right across the cover, which is kind of sad. If it wasn't for that rip, it actually presents quite well. But there is that big rip, if you can see it. I'm not sure if it shows up on the video. But it's kind of cool to have her first appearance. And it's a hard comic to get, not just because it's her first appearance, but because it's like a bondage cover. Anything when it's a bondage early, like golden age comic, it's really hard. This is from 1941 range, like probably 1943. So so bondage covers from that time period, really, really pricey. So yeah, so to get her first appearance is really great. So that's Firehair's first appearance in Ranger Comics 21. Now, this is just this one I just saw. I just thought, wow, this is kind of a cute cover. Nice good girl art. This is Henry Aldrich. And it's just I don't know, I thought it was a really great 40s, early 50s, maybe 50. Actually, it's 1950. Good girl art. It's not that expensive. I paid less than $10 for it. So when you get golden age good girl art cover that's really cute, why not for $10? I think I paid $7, so it was even cheaper than that. And then we have this one. Was somebody recommended this one. This is Maisie number 10. And actually the reason I picked this one, so somebody that was watching my videos recommended this comic, and they said it had really great good girl art. When I was a kid, there was a girl in my class that I was totally in love with that looked kind of like this girl. so this is kind of like, in a weird way, a girl that I liked when I was a kid. It just looked like that, and she had the blonde hair, the typical look. And it was just one of my So when I saw this cover, I was like, oh, I got to get this one because it's just, it's like the kissing booth, and it's kind of cute. I just think it's great. So, and the last one from that stack of comics is this one. I believe this is the first appearance of Huey, Dewey, and Louie. I believe so. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But this is Huey, Dewey, and Louie Go Back to School. So this is a giant, Dell Giant. I forgot what issue. Dell Giant number 35 from 1959. So just a really kind of, minor key, kind of cool Disney comic. And I'd have to check that one. I'm pretty sure it's their first appearance, though. Next, last bag. So thanks for watching all this time. It's like a pretty long video, I get that. So I always want to give a shout out to say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy these unboxing videos. I'm pretty excited because it's a lot of really great stuff that I've been trying to pick up. And yeah, this is, kind of cool. So, and then we got, so we got Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, #1, the 3D. This is the 3D, another good girl art cover, modern comic. Just, I like Sheena as well. I like these Jungle Girls. As you can see, I'm collecting a lot of Jungle Girl art. It's kind of funny. This one actually was hard to get. This one, strangely enough, was a hard one to find. And they just happened to have it on my comic shop. This is Shanna, the Fire Hair, and it's the 0. It's actually seems to be a hard one to find. I don't know why, but it was just a little bit hard to find. This one is the B cover for our nice house on the lake, and this one has some significance just in terms of the story. So this B cover is kind of cool. So this is the B cover of Nice House on the Lake, #1. So kind of a cool one to get. Okay, next is more Shanna, the She-Devil, #6. So I think that's one of the last ones of that series. That's in here. And then we have Jungle Comics #142. So Jungle Comics 142. Great bondage cover. It looks like she's getting doing the human sacrifice, and you got the Kanga in the background, gonna save her. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. I like these kind of covers. This one, she's saving him. So this is Jungle Comics 145. And this one, she's saving him. So she's kind of diving down. He's getting attacked by a leopard. He's some bondage going on for him now. He's the one in bondage. And he's being attacked by the leopard. And it's kind of cool. So that's that one. And then we have Fire Hair #7. So as I said, I'm trying to collect the whole series of Fire Hair. There's not too many in the series. But this is kind of interesting comic. In the Fire Hair series, it ran, as I said, I think it's 10 issues. There was, in the middle of that series, they renamed it Pioneer and West Romances. So not that that's significant or anything, but they did rename the series midway, and then they went back to just calling it Fire Hair. So this is a nice high grade. Actually, it's a 4.5, which is, it's a mid grade, but for Golden Age, it's a high grade. So yeah, it's just really nice. It presents really well. Now, you probably noticed that I collect a lot of comics that are related to cartoon series that I like, like Donald Duck, Uncle Scrooge, all this kind of stuff. I also collect, I always liked this series, and I wanted to pick this up for a while. Like I did in a previous video, one on Bob's Burgers. Well, this is another one from those Bongo series, Futurama. Futurama #1. This is the first Futurama story. Just this one is becoming so hot. I actually, after I bought this, the prices went up a lot. I don't know why, but this one's becoming super hot. And I just saw one sell on Heritage for like a few $100s. It was like, whoa, why are they selling for so much? But this book is really hot. It's Futurama #1. Just a really, I always liked the series. I liked one of my favorite episodes of Futurama is the Lucy Liu bot, like where they have where he gets basically a sex robot that looks like Lucy Liu. So I really enjoyed the Futurama series. I thought it was great. Okay, so that's that one. And then we have DC Showcase number 85. Now, what's the significance of this book? Well, this is the first appearance of Firehair again, but in this time she's a little boy. So instead of being the woman from the original series, the way that they did it, where it's a girl, they made Firehair a boy. And I don't think that was a good move personally, but I really wish they just kept it as a little girl and made her the cool character that she was in the 40s. But they decided to make it a boy, and that's Firehair. So you can see he's like a little boy. This is the scene where they actually changed the story a little bit too. Like, I've read both, so I know. In the original series, it was people pretending to be natives that basically attacked the wagon. Okay, that they were moving west, and they got attacked. In this version, what they did is they changed it all together. Instead, it is natives attacking them, and the reason for that they're attacking the caravan is they don't like the fact that white people are encroaching on native land. And so it's a little bit, the political arena, I guess, changed over the years. So in the 40s, it was more about people pretending and besmirching the name of the natives. In this, it's more like the natives are having to protect themselves against those evil white men taking all their territory. So different attitudes, that change over time. And this is from a 1978. So just a interesting Bronze Age rendition of Firehair. So they tried to bring it back. The character never really stuck in that new version. Now we got another Seduction of the Innocent one. This is Tex Morgan number 9. Again, from the Seduction of the Innocent. So just another interesting one. So yeah, that's also from the Seduction of the Innocent. And then we have, I mentioned that I like the 40s, like when I was talking about the Alex Schomburg cover, that Betty Page style. Well, this is Betty Page Comics Spicy Adventure from 1997. Just a really great Betty Page cover. So yeah. Another series that I really like is Linda Carter Student Nurse. This is the first series, and this is from 1961. And this is, so I have number 1, and this is the number 9 of the series. This is the last of the series. So they revamped the series later with, Linda Carter night nurses. But this is the original series, Linda Carter Student Nurse. So just a great cover. It kind of is an interesting story. Like, it's basically about nurses becoming nurses and going through that trial by fire kind of situation. And very interesting stories. Kind of reminds me of like what's it called? My wife always watches the show. She'll get mad at me for forgetting. Grace Hospital. I forgot the name of the hospital series. Oh my goodness. My wife will kill me. There's a show that she always watched. Grey's Anatomy. I was like, I better not forget. My wife will kill me. Grey's Anatomy. It kind of reminds me of Grey's Anatomy, but with nurses. So this is Student Nurse. Okay. And we have 2 more books. This one is just a pure cover by Lost in Space Annual number 1. Just a great bondage cover. Just a great good girl art kind of cover. Yeah, I just like this cover. It's pure cover by. So yeah, I actually like Lost in Space as well, but I just, it's the cover that got me on that one. So, and then we have X-Men 51. So like, Wow, that was pretty random. Like, so I just showed all this good girl art and SOTI stuff, and then I have X-Men. So that's how random I am. This is, I forgot, what's the guy's name? I'm trying to remember the character. Please comment in the comments below what the character is. I forgot his name for some reason. I forget his name right now. But this is the first appearance of that character that I can't remember his name. I don't want to mess it up. I've messed it up too many times. So, but this is kind of a cool first appearance. And I like getting these X-Men first appearances. This is X-Men 51, early X-Men. Can't go wrong. So that's it. That's my video. A lot of stuff. Some really cool things that I really enjoy. I really like the fire hair. I love this. I love the Golden Age stuff. I'm getting more and more into the Golden Age in terms of my collecting. I sort of feel like I have all the superhero stuff that I've been looking for. So now I'm kind of getting more interested in that Golden Age comics. A lot of the good girl art too. I really like the good girl art. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a very long video. It's just, as I said, it was a huge unboxing. This is the unboxing that I don't want you to tell my wife about because it's just such a big unboxing. She's going to be like, what the hell did you do? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. Thanks for watching. Please comment below and like, comment, and subscribe. Please, I need to get to that 1,000 subs, and then I'm going to have a big giveaway. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Bye.